One of Ribchester's most impressive wins was the Queen Anne Stakes at Royal Ascot. It's the pinnacle of racing in Europe, Royal Ascot. It's the biggest stage. He went there as a hot favourite. It's the opening race on day one of Royal Ascot, and he came out and he asserted himself. He really made a statement. He won in track record time and announced himself as one of the world's real elite horses.
Ribchester and William Buick are the Queen Anne winners.
He raced the best, he beat the best. So, you know, beyond his maiden debut run, he raced another 15 times, and all those 15 starts were at group level. And his last 11 races were all at Group 1 level, and he won 4 of them. He was the European champion miler at 3 and 4, track record holder for the mile at Royal Ascot, and you can only imagine the quality of horse that's been over that mile trip at Royal Ascot over the years, and not one of them's been able to do it in a faster time than Ribchester. So he really was elite. I was excited about him when I watched him race for Godolphin, and then when I saw him at Kildangan Stud in Ireland in March and saw what an imposing physical he is. We just had to have him here at Kelvinside for this year. I think it's very rare to get a horse of this quality at such an affordable fee. You know, 4-time Group 1 winner, multiple champion miler of Europe. And I guess for us, we're always looking for the perfect outcross, and for me, I think Ribchester could be that. Physically, he's a leggy, scopy horse, which very much complements the blocky, typical Danehill line mare that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And his sire, Ifraj, he's made such an impact in both hemispheres, for ourselves in the Northern Hemisphere and for Hanui Farm in New Zealand, and in particular with the Danehill line. With Daughters of Danehill, there's been 24 runners. 5 of them have been Group 1 performers. 2 Group 1 winners in Turn Me Loose and Chrysilium, both out of Danehill mares, and another 3 that have been Group 1 place. So that's, you know, 1 in 5 Daughters of Danehill that have been to Ifraj have turned out to be Group 1 horses. So that's a phenomenal stat, and I've got no doubt that Ribchester's, you know, suited to that line and gonna nick as well as his old man has with that line. A lot of the shuttle stallions that come to Australia are quite foreign to our breeders. Ribchester wasn't. He was a horse that was always well on the radar. Australians pay great attention to Royal Ascot. So certainly the name Ribchester wasn't foreign to our breeders when we announced him. And then when people came and saw him, that was the last box he had to tick. And obviously when they've come to see him, they've loved what they've seen. He looks like a typical Australian weight for age horse. He wouldn't look out of place walking around the mounting yard on Cox Plate Day next to the Winks and the Humidors of the world. He's that style of horse, and I'd imagine that's the style of horse that he's going to produce here in Australia. You know, you would think they'll be milers, they'll be tough. He's not too dissimilar to a horse we've had great success with here in Teofilo. He's really going to suit the Australian market with what he produces. So Ribchester covered a full book of 150 mares at Kildangan Stud in Ireland for us. He was extremely quick to fill up. He was a horse that the European breeder knew a lot of. They saw him race at the elite level. They knew how good he was. And so it didn't take our Irish counterparts long to fill him this year. And similarly here, he's certainly been well received here. He's got good breeders breeding to him with nice mares from both Australia and New Zealand. Obviously the New Zealand breeders have had great success with his sire Ifraj, and they're certainly willing to have a punt on the best son that Ifraj has produced in Ribchester.